As we are inching closer to the new year, about to close off 2016 and step into 2017, I thought I would do a video all about the things that I have come to learn in 2016, since it has most definitely been quite the year of growing pains for me, to say the least, as I'm sure as it has been for many people. I'm making this video as a form of, remembrance for myself to look back on, but at the same time, kind of to just, state the things that have happened and to let them go and take what I can from them. And hopefully it will be, a form of inspiration for you and that you can get something out of as well, or at least can relate to. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that I would like to start with is, of course, the biggest lesson that I have learned this year, which is the universe will support you if you are brave enough to follow your life's purpose. I know a lot of people might say they don't even know, what their life purpose is. They might not, believe in a person having one, but all I really mean in saying that is just whatever you feel yourself innately drawn to. We all have that voice within ourselves that, goes much deeper than any thoughts we have, and it's just this sort of, urge to do something or to express yourself in a certain way. So whether that means just kind of stepping out of your comfort zone to do certain things, or actually saying what you mean, which is actually very rarely done, or just following whatever kind of career or hobby that you feel is really going to just light up your heart. For me personally, even though I feel like I've been following my life's purpose for the majority of my life, it's been interesting because there has been so many ups and downs. There's been some very, very low points, like this year included, and some really big high points that have pushed me forward. Before, when I would hit those sort of low points, I will be honest and say, like, I had a bit of resentment. I felt like, I'm working so hard, I'm really putting myself out there, what else can I do, what more do you want from me, kind of thing. And I would get, really, really disappointed when things wouldn't work out my way, when I felt that I was really doing everything I could. What I came to realize, especially this year, is that those disappointments and those setbacks, or perceived, so to say, setbacks, really are there for a reason. They really are a gift. The universe does have your best intentions in mind, believe it or not. It was through those challenges that I truly came to understand that, there is no wiggle room. Like, these are the things that I want. This is what I want to be. And it finally pushed me to that brink of, burning my boats, so to say, all or nothing. There is no plan B, there is only plan A. And I think when we get pushed to that sort of ultimatum, like, that is when we really realize what we're capable of. That is when we really, extend our limits and become our fullest selves. Realizing that the universe is never against me, it is only myself who is against me and the universe, did I come to a very big turning point in just radically changing my life. Number 2. It's like Dr. Seuss said, the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. Something that I've learned this year is that, yes, whenever you are truly stepping into becoming your authentic self and actually expressing how you feel, you might be alone at first, you might lose friends, you might, really piss a lot of people off. And in doing that, you are going to attract the people that are supposed to be in your life, that will bring you joy, that will support you to be your greatest self. And at the end of the day, isn't that the kind of people you want to have around you anyway? I really try to stop caring so much about, what people think and having, everybody like me, so to say, because you really will never please anyone. Not everyone will like you. That's just life. There may be periods where you have to be strong and, be alone and not have to rely on other people to be there for you to really express who it is you are. Humans are a tribal society, but at the end of the day, I would much rather have a few people who I could really depend on and relate with than a whole bunch of people who are just there to take advantage of me. Number 3. A healthy relationship is not going to be possible if you are waiting for that person to complete you and to put your happiness into. Unless you can make yourself happy, there is no way that relationship is going to last. Enough said. Number 4. Making assumptions and overthinking things really is just the black hole of suffering. Either confront the situation or just drop it and leave it out of your mind completely. Number 5. Floating is a phenomenal experience that I would highly recommend to everyone. Let me know if you would like a more in-depth video about this to give you the greatest chance of becoming in touch with your deepest self. Number 6. Adopting to a plant-based vegetarian or vegan diet is definitely one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Number 7. We can learn even just one thing from Donald Trump being now the President of the United States, is that the floodgates are open. Absolutely anything is possible. You can be whatever you want to be, no experience necessary. We really do live in a world where your own self-belief is such a very, very potent thing. A lot of people who you might say are very arrogant or conceited or, entitled, as, we millennials have a reputation for, but I think there's actually very few people who truly deep inside believe they are that. It is one thing to say, oh, I'm so great, I'm this, I'm that, but I think there's usually obviously parts of them that don't believe that. On the other hand, if you really do truly believe it in your core to the absolute depths of who you are, whether that is true or a complete fallacy, it really does manifest itself in reality. What you believe you really can achieve. So that's a sort of plus, you could say, from the election. Number 8. Best in yourself. If your intuition is telling you that you should use your talents to pursue a certain kind of career, or if you really just want to learn how to dance, or you're really scared of public speaking but feel that that's something you really have to overcome, have the courage to put yourself out there, to ask for help, and to use your resources to help you achieve that. Number 9. Don't beat around the bush with people's feelings. I myself am very guilty of this because I always thought that, by sort of lessening the blow or kind of not directly saying what I mean, especially when it comes to romantic sort of feelings, I was somehow salvaging those people's feelings. But I am learning more and more now, and having received the opposite end of that, I have come to see just how painful and unnecessary that is. So honestly, if you feel a certain way about someone, whether it's really liking them or the fact that it's just never gonna happen, just be honest with that. Number 10. Now, a lot of people get mad at me whenever I say this, but I have found it to be incredibly true in my life, so I'm just going to say it, and that is the fact that the people and the situations that come into our lives really are reflections of what is going on inside of us. And that's not to point blame if, some really terrible things happen to you, and then for you to feel like you yourself caused it or whatever. It's just the way it is. The majority of what's going on inside of us is subconscious, things that we're not even at all aware of. So if you're not aware of it, of course, how do you begin to change it? Usually when any kind of negativity or pain comes up from, somebody being mean to us or whatever, it's those specific things that we ourselves haven't dealt with inside that's a sort of wound or that we don't like within ourselves. So use those experiences and those people as teachers of what is going on inside of yourself. You realize you really do have the choice to not have to feel those ways anymore. Then you will begin to see those circumstances change. Number 11. If you want the perfect example of how to live your life, come into nature. Get so disillusioned in our modern world thinking that everything is separate, everything, has a specific cause and effect only to that thing, without realizing that it's part of a whole. Number 12. This may be one of the most important things that I've learned this year, and that is, you do not get what you want, you get what you are. If you want a fancier house or a different career or just more flexibility and ease in doing whatever it is you want to do, you have to find ways to incorporate that energy into your life right now. So for example, if you want a much more easy sort of lifestyle doing what you love, you have to find ways to bring that ease into your doing right now. The whole mentality of like completely saving everything for your future and working so hard now so you can be on easy street in the future is just so completely contradictory. The future is just never going to come. Actions that you bring into your life right now is what's going to sprout in the next moment. There is no future, there is only now. So whatever you want right now, you have to be right now. Lucky number 13. Surround yourself with the people who remind you who you are. Many times we stay in relationships or friendships or get very close to family who actually doesn't have our best intentions in mind at the end of the day, and who do not actually want us to be happy and to become our greatest selves. And that's a very sad sort of realization to come to. But once you can be honest with yourself about how the people in your life are affecting you, then you can actually begin to consciously choose what kind of energy it is you want to be surrounding yourself with. Be very careful in who you choose to give your time to and what kind of influence you allow them to have in your life. It may be difficult to sever those kinds of ties, especially if they've been there for quite a while, but I promise you that it is very important for your own happiness and sanity in the long run, and you will feel so much better because of it. Number 14. Great to have goals and dreams and to have a sort of vision for your future, but don't ever let that overshadow the step that you are taking right now. I've learned that I have a very, very bad habit of always projecting myself into the future, thinking that if only I had this and if only I could accomplish that, that I would be so much more happier, I would be so much more fulfilled. If only things could be this way, everything would be okay. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Mind can only show you what you already know, so whatever you are projecting into your future is only with the knowledge that it has had from the past. There are amazing, incredible, absolutely stupendous possibilities available to us if we would just stop thinking so much and to just allow life to flow through us and really be present in what is happening right now to get the most we can out of it as to help with our future. I know that's super wordy, but all I'm really trying to say is to just stop focusing on the results so much and instead focus on what you are doing right now. There's going to be so much more quality and so many more amazing things that are going to come out of your actions if you are focusing on the actual change. Number 15, turn the other cheek. If somebody comes at you with a whole bunch of hate and a whole bunch of anger, no, you do not have to stay there and take it. But if you are either going to confront the situation or walk away from the situation, make sure that you are doing so with kindness and love. Realize that the person attacking you probably has a lot of sad things going on in their life to make them react in that way. So just try and find that kind of compassion to not take it personally, and also don't hang on to their baggage. Don't make yourself into a victim and carry around that kind of burden or begin to believe in, what they said or did is true. And realizing that you are so much greater than anything that anyone can ever say or do to you. And last, but certainly not least, as I sit here in Yoyogi Park in Tokyo, Japan, and as the sun sets and we're a few days away from the new year, I would like to close with the most important thing that I have learned this year. So number 16 really is the power of now. I've obviously talked about this before and will continue to do so, but I would just like to say that it's not enough to just talk about it or to think it or to believe it, as thinking would be the contradictory form of it. It is really to realize it, to be it, because within the one step embodies every other possible step you could take in finding peace and happiness and direction in your outer life, so to say. And it really is the most simple and difficult concept all at once, to just be in the present moment without any thought and no expectations, and to feel yourself as a spiritual being having a human experience. Bring as much presence as possible into every single moment. Allow life to just flow through you. And in doing so, you will realize that you constantly have a choice in absolutely everything that happens to you. You are so much more powerful than you could ever imagine. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. I hope something resonated with you and maybe sparked some kind of hopefully positive change in your life and made you look at things differently. Let me know in the comments down below what you learned from 2016, the kind of energy and ideas that you want to bring into 2017. And just from the bottom of my heart, guys, I would really just like to say thank you so much for your incredible positive support with my YouTube channel and for taking the time to watch my videos and to comment and to send me messages. It has really become the most transformative agent in my life, and I love making videos and I love expressing myself this way, so thank you for giving me a medium and the support to do that, and I hope in 2017 that will only continue to grow. So I would just like to wish you guys a very happy new year, to keep being your own kind of beautiful, to have the courage to let your light shine freely, and to really make the most of every single moment. Sending you lots of light and love. I'll see you guys next year.